Back in the alpha for another normal mode 5-cell run, and this time I want to do something a little bit different, specifically because when I was playing that last run, I noticed that I was not really taking a whole lot of damage. Now, it was a survival, I was using Dead Inside, building a lot for making sure that I would be able to survive a lot of hits, but even then, I do think that one of the things that has come with this latest update of Dead Cells is just, well, a lot more friendlier damage totals in higher cell difficulty. So what I'm going to do today is Tactics. Because Tactics, the big problem is that you die pretty much in 2 hits when you're on 5-cell mode, and that just makes it really rough cell for actually using this stat. But if the damage numbers, like I said, are a lot more friendly, perhaps this is going to be a second coming of Tactics, because hey, you do get some of the highest damage runs and easiest wins, or at least possibly easiest wins, if you could just take a couple hits. And certainly that was the case all the way back when 5-cell mode was first introduced and Tactics just gave you a lot more health in general, so I don't know, I think it's worth checking out. I already did a couple runs on stream recently, and it did seem like that might be the case. I mean, certainly that run ended with me taking a 2x damage pyrotechnics, so it was a little bit hard to judge that in the very, very late game, but still, I think it's something worth checking out. I mean, aside from that, there has been another new update as of a couple days ago where they have changed up pretty much my biggest gripe with the latest alpha, which was that, finding stuff in shops was real difficult. From what I understand now, we should get a little bit better distribution of different items. Stuff like finding shields is not going to be like looking for a needle in a haystack, which is going to make a pretty big difference over the course of a run. And since this is normal mode, this is not a showcase, the normal rules do not apply. I mean, whatever. I'd like to think of these alpha runs as being a lot more casual anyway. Ones where I don't really have to worry about playing by the exact same rules, whether it comes to using items or, even just trying to make absolutely sure that I have like some form of winning run, even if it takes me several attempts to do so. So I think that, hey, the other thing is that if I'm looking to see if Tactics is making a comeback, I do think that I should probably be using some of the best items that I possibly can. Just because, well, that's going to show you know what, I will actually do this. Yep. Because that's going to show the general items that I'm using in the best light, right? And that means that if I'm trying to convince anybody to actually start using Tactics again, because certainly I have done a lot of damage to its reputation, I would still highly recommend it for lower cell difficulties, just not when you get up to, let's just say, 3-4 cell mode. It's just like, I want to have a good run. I want to have a good run, and I want to show you just how good this could possibly be. Now, I thought that this might have happened, or this might start happening, as soon as I knew we were getting like new alphas that were going to be rebalancing a whole lot of stuff. Because that's one of the things that I always found frustrating about like 5-cell mode and everything, is just that one of the stats that you got, one of the builds that you want to actually use is unusable. or at least it has such significant disadvantages compared to the other two stats that it's like, why would you ever want to go Tactics? If you have a truly overpowered run where you're able to blitz down bosses within seconds, like that one, I don't really know why it's so popular, but it is another magic missile stream that I did a while back. It's like, that's different, but that's like, 1 in a million type of run. I want to see like Tactics be a completely viable type of strategy, taking Tactics be a completely viable type of build, without requiring only the most overpowered build possible. Hey, come on, just keep hitting him so I get my rally back. I don't know, either way, just like the ability to use Tactics a little bit more and have that extra range and everything, I think is also going to be pretty helpful for dealing with a couple of the issues that are coming up in the latest patch, like the inability to rally up health from from skills now, which is something that I am still getting used to. Shuts down a whole lot of strategies that were otherwise quite good before. Oh, come on. What is that stalling attack? What am I playing, Dark Souls 2 here? I'm not entirely sure how I stunned that Rampager, but man, that was an unfortunate hit today. But hey, a Rampager that didn't take off 90% of my health in a tactics run. That's what I'm talking about. And that's the sort of experience that I did have when I was doing those streams earlier, and I can only hope that it's going to continue on from this point. As always, I don't really think that... I mean, as always, Magic Missiles is usually a great choice to be taking, and I don't think it's been changed up at all. Of all the weapons that I think are very good, I mean, I'm pretty sure that Quick Bow, for example, got more of a nerf than the Magic Missile, so that's only going to work out in my favor. After all, Magic Missile is an item that its particular gimmick is not very interesting, you know, the way that you can pretty much hit enemies at all points in time, but that's also what makes it so powerful. It doesn't need a whole lot of setup to be very good. You just need to hold down that attack button and you'll probably be okay. Oh yeah, should remember that, did almost forget that there was a slight change to the flamethrower turret, you know, giving it much, come on now. Giving it a much higher cooldown time now, so I can't just continuously spam that for every single fight that I'm going to be going up against. Frustrating, but I can deal with it. You know, I suppose one of the things that could possibly be considered a nerf for tactics, even though I'm not even going to, even though I'm already couching expectations on what I'm about to say right now, is that without stats being included on items, you don't really get the same... Like, for example, I would have 2 tactics from Magic Missile, 2 tactics from Barnacle, and like a lot of the items that I would otherwise like to take, whether it's turrets or, you know, secondary attacking items, would usually only be tactics only, meaning that you usually get a lot of extra stats from the very beginning of the game. That said, that is something that doesn't matter, that becomes completely irrelevant very quickly. But it was one of the few things that did give you kind of an advantage, a very slight advantage when it came to using tactics. Like I said, couching those expectations a lot from the very beginning of that sentence that I was saying. That thought. That if that was a single sentence, it's just like, man. This is the level of commentary you expect when I'm doing casual runs, I suppose. Oh, let's think about how sentences are formed in English. Okay, prison depths, obviously, still do not really have a whole lot of good survival options for tactics, though. So, I mean, hitting up all those curse chests and everything is going to be the major way that I'll be healing if I need to. I mean, now that they've changed it up so that, you know, we don't get horrible scaling with the food shops anymore, it should be a lot more affordable, especially if I do end up going into a place like the cavern, for potion charges and everything. Although I do still think that 20,000 is an awful lot to be paying for a potion charge, even though it is not going to be affected at all by like a shop gold scaling. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's one of those things that is just very hard to kind of judge until I start doing a lot more runs. And needless to say, I might have been perhaps slacking off a little bit on my duties when it comes to playing Dead Cells, so I haven't been doing nearly as many runs as I probably should have. I should just make it so that I'm here. Bam, that's a good combo. Should be doing a lot more. Come on. It was that like little tiny raised part of the platform there where Dead Cells guy was just constantly trying to walk up it that made it so that like it was canceling out my attempts to dodge. I don't know. Sometimes climbing up walls, as much as it is a blessing, can very rarely, couching those expectations once again, be a little bit of a curse too. And it tells the game that I do think controls pretty well, but occasionally that can kind of betray you. Just a little bit though. Just a little bit. Okay. Already getting a good amount of stats immediately, but you know, as always, I don't think it's changed up at all in the alpha. You know, getting a lot of extra curse chests, a lot of extra challenge rifts is going to be what I'm looking for. And even on the best day, I tend to be very bad at looking at some of those challenge rifts, so we'll see how that kind of happens as I continue on through the game. That said, I mean, 8 seems like a good total for the game as it exists right now. I don't know. I do think that the alpha is slowly coalescing into like being a little bit more agreeable compared to what it was at the very beginning. But I do think that I would like to see a few more changes to like two-handed weapons, especially. Those things, they're a very tough sell because you are heavily changing up weapons that have been that have in the past been very good and, you know, well proven into something that is more questionable in use. Stuff like, I know the repeater crossbow has been changed up, and if I do see that, no wait, it's going to be survival scaling. It's all about tactics today, and it's not like I regret that decision, but here, for one of the few things that is kind of, I mean, it's defensive focused. I wouldn't really say it's it gives you any real survivability, though. It's not the same thing as, like, you know, grabbing adrenaline or frenzy. You would be interesting, though. I'll dump the shield for right now with the idea that I might be able to get something to make this work for me. We'll see. As it is, though, with Magic Missile, I shouldn't have a problem dealing with a curse, but, well, curses, they sneak up on you, you know? Sometimes, you know, I shouldn't have a problem that does not necessarily translate into I won't have a problem with it. Still one of the most frustrating things in all of Dead Cells, I would say. Just the way that I seemingly get killed by curses more often than just about anything else. Still would like to see Motion Twin or Evil Empire, as it is now, end up implementing like a little bit more, I don't know, a different variety of curses. Like, there are ones that exist in other games, for example, that people bring up all the time, whether it's anything else? Okay. Good dodge, by the way. Tactical Retreat is a pretty good mutation. It's just usually I like taking stuff that gives me a lot of extra health, blah, blah, blah. Disengagement to the heart, as I'm doing right now. The usual. I mean, as much as I am pained to admit it, there are a lot of mutations that are just, and not all mutations are created equal. Some are created more equal than others. Really a lot of the, oh, sure. A little bit of a colorless, yeah, I mean, as much as I do like the parry shield and everything, I think I would kind of prefer to try that out a little bit. I don't really know if it's going to synergize with any of the items that I'm going to be using over the course of the run, but I'll give it an attempt. Don't want to take the Sata Stiletto, though? Well, no. Well, maybe. Okay, fine, just to mix it up. How about that? Okay, well, there's another thing to be fixing. Motion Twin, just saying here. At least it counts this pretty well. Okay, so I'm gonna need some form of poison, bleeding, whatever. I'm perfectly willing to take a number of different good options for turrets and everything like that, whether it's a sinew slicer or anything like that. But we'll see if that actually ends up showing up here. I don't think I can... Yeah, buddy, that's what I'm talking about. I don't think I can get a causes bleeding modifier on this shield, though. It's not... It is not of that... It's not that sort of ice item. And also, I think that might not exist anymore? I know Motion Twin was talking about how they didn't really like that as a modifier. They found it kind of useless more often than not. But I don't know if it still exists in the game or whatever. If it does, though, could be good for this particular circumstance. Oh well, as it is, I might just be able to get like one of the many poisons enemies when you parry them, bleeds enemies when you parry them type of modifiers instead, which is the exact sort of thing that I would be looking for. Oh yeah, getting different types of curses. That was something that people always said about Undermine specifically, where Undermine has a very robust system of curses and blessings, and it would be a lot more interesting to see like a, give me a curse that prevents you from getting criticals, for example, which is one that exists in that game, rather than one that outright kills you when you take a hit. That was something that does have a history in the game of getting changed up a little bit over time. I'm thinking about like the original challenge rifts, for example, where you had to defeat several dozen enemies without getting hit once, and that's a tough ask. Which is why that was eventually changed up into just dealing with a huge parkour trap hallway instead, which I find so much more palatable. Maybe a little bit too easy, but you would never hear me say that. I like it being a little bit too easy. Wow, okay. And you got to remember that the upswing that the slashers have is not a... The hitbox is actually pretty generous, which, as always, I like to... Okay. I will check you out, though. Which, as I always say, is how you should design a game. Make it so that... not the morass. Thank you, Tactical Retreat, by the way. Maybe I have been kind of misjudging that right now. It's been working out surprisingly well for the absurd, horrible risks that I've been taking in the course of this run. Oh man. That's the true Dead Cells experience. When you get yourself backed into a corner with 100 different enemies around you, and you got to figure out some way to make it work. Crow's feet. Hey, if I'm going to be looking for any sort of defensive focus stuff without taking the usual, I think Crow's Feet is going to be the one I want to look at. Slowing damage and something that doesn't require you to nearly get hit to activate. I think it might have a little bit of good combination. Two very specific circumstances that they're going to be used in, but two circumstances that are going to be coming up very often. As you do. All right. So the plan here is just more curse chest, see if I can afford the potion charge especially, and then just try to continue on from there. Anything, any sort of new item that could potentially get me some sort of... Oh yeah, I probably should have re-rolled my my shield to see if I got that bleeds or poisons enemies, but I don't know. I want to save up for the potion charge right now. If I'm not taking nearly as much damage as I was before, I do think that's going to be important for keeping the potion charges. Because it used to be, as long as you got one potion charge, you're fine. And that's really all you could say about tactics, because you would be entirely reliant on disengagement to be working for you. And after disengagement was working, usually in a boss fight, then you would... I'll check it. Okay. Probably shouldn't have spent the money on that. Probably should have just gotten cursed, but... I'm just talking about trying to be very spendthrift right now, and, well, there'll be more opportunities for potions later on. I just wanted to see if there was hey, Frantic Sword's a good weapon, and if I'm going for melee tactics, which, when I say it like that, why am I going for melee tactics? Hey, you did not get slowed down by that at all. I was kind of reliant on you getting slowed down there so I could be all like, hey, see, this is a good use of that, come on. This is a good use of the crow's feet there, and yet that's not what happened. Quite unfortunate, if you were to ask me. Well, anyway, I guess right now I'm just gonna go spend money on getting a piece of watermelon in the food shop instead. Oh no, that's not good. Worked out okay though. Here, get in the trap hallway. Oh, man, they changed up the heart to no longer give you like 25% of your health back. You just revive with 1 HP, which is pretty ridiculous. Well, yeah, I got the same outfit again. All right, getting rid of that curse was kind of the most important thing, so start up here with the kind of unimpressive quick bow. Quick bow used to be very, very good, but the latest patch did change it so the critical was a lot less. I mean, instead of what, like a 3-point something modifier, it's only 2 now, and I do really feel it. Although that might also be because I just don't really have a whole lot of stats right now. I'm going to be carrying this bow around with me for at least a little while and see if there's too much of a difference. I do think that right now the alpha does have... it's different in the way that it feels like early game you feel a lot weaker, but then late game you don't really feel stronger, but you feel about as strong as you would be in previous versions. So, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just kind of how that is in the game right now. We'll see. We'll see. Either way, I do have everything to kind of make this work. A lot of extra damage from the Wolf Trap Corrupted Power, and then the Quick Bow gets double extra ammo from the ammunition mutation. So hopefully that's going to work out pretty well when I come up against the first boss. At least, yeah, that's what I'm, well, hoping. I don't really know exactly how it's going to turn out. As it is still just the concierge, so I'm not very worried about it. Really, I just don't want to have to do another run, as always. Dead Cells runs do take a time, don't they? Good. Also would like to get a shield that actually scales. I mean, you know, as much as I was saying that, hey, I think they fixed the shop now, haven't gotten any shields from the various shops I've been to, or any turrets. So, kind of waiting on that. Using all of the colorless items that I'm getting instead right now. Usually something that you don't tend to do with tactics, but these are already things that would be scaling with tactics, so yeah, I don't know. There we go, back up to 12. The other thing that was kind of missing from this run was getting a good necklace, so I wasn't really getting too much for good stats there. And I'm really not right now either, but at least it's better. At least it is somewhat better. So, in the meantime, nah. Gonna have to look at Emergency Door. I suppose I am playing Tactics right now. I probably could have done the Emergency Door showcase, but the showcases I feel like are gonna be on hold until the alpha is finished, just because it is so different and things are very much in flux, which means that especially trying to do a showcase would be strange, because I don't really know what weapons are going to react well with some of these changes and what aren't. Stuff that might be heavily reliant on getting like double, triple damage from stuff previously could start running into some issues now that those affixes have been changed up to be rarer, or at least somewhat rare. Crowbar. Crowbar could be fun, but what I really want is to keep the quick bow for right now, since I know that is one of the items that has been changed up a little bit. Even though it's not, you know, anything very interesting, just a change to the critical modifier, but still. As far as I know, Crowbar is still Crowbar. Which is to say, it's alright. I don't know. Get criticals when you hit stuff on the ground, but I don't really know if that's all that big of a deal right now. Sinew Slicer could be okay. Everything else, though, not particularly interested in. Just go get that extra stat and then be on my way. Well, get the extra stat and then probably also go grab the piece of fruit again, but this time do it before I die. You know. You know how it works. You understand what I'm saying. As much as I would like to get the whistle, might want to go just get that just to sell it, but that's also pretty out of the way. And I don't really need a potion charge nearly as much as I did in the last run, so... Oh, although, now that I'm thinking about it, there's no real point in going and getting that piece of watermelon because I'm not really going to get any healing from it. It'll just be a malaise heal because I took dead inside. I'm not going to use a potion charge right now. But I suppose that would be something to think about. What do you got? You got a shield for me finally? No. No. And there's one. Is it even worth the money? I don't think so. Knockback shield, of course, not the best shield. No. Like, not even close to it? Yeah, that's how I would put it. So, let's just not take that one. 650. Was that worth it? I guess it's pretty close to the teleporter, but still. I'll go check out that Sinew Slicer. Maybe it's got like bleed propagation or bleed and poison. Anything like that would actually be pretty helpful right now. So, well, you know, it's not bad. It's not bad. I'll take it. I think that's got 40% extra on burning, covers the ground in oil. Maybe just try like re-rolling the bow one. So I get the 100% on oiled and burning targets. That would actually be very good for right now, even though that is supposed to be a rarer type of affix appearing on weapons. I don't know. We'll see. Either way, I mean, I did just take a spiked ball to the face and did not even take too much damage from it, so I think it's going pretty well. Certainly dead inside doesn't really feel like it's a completely pointless to take with this build anymore, because it is actually giving me a noticeable amount of extra damage. Oh right, I was going to re-roll the bow. Ah, well, it's fine. As you can see, the damage is still totally okay, even in spite of that. Oh yes, also, yeah, bosses don't gain permanent resistance. They eventually, after a time, go back to... Oh, I didn't get the parry there, I just noticed. I got like partial parry or something. I held up the shield, which is unfortunate. But that's fine. But yeah, that means the Wolf Trap is going to be a lot more useful, and a lot more useful when it comes to damage over time type of builds once again. I don't know, it's hard to say if damage over time is quite as good as it was once. So, another thing to kind of keep an eye on. Because affixes are rarer, and they don't really work in the same way, and just in general, I don't know, it's the damage over time stuff works differently. So I guess that'll be something to take a look at. It is unfortunate that I'm not going to get the legendary item. Well, especially after that, but you know what I mean. I suppose I should probably just heal here and make sure that I'm not going to accidentally get another unfortunate end to the run once again. Yep, that would have been unfortunate. That jump is very difficult to judge hitbox. Slashing fans? Yeah. I mean, Owl I would definitely take, but that is also, you know, one of those really played out weapons, so I'll drop it for right now. Get something that's a little fresher, you know? Alright, in the meantime, now I can, in fact, afford the potion charge that I just used, but I'm not really going to be able to get much of anything else in the way of items for quite some time because of that. Which is... I mean, I know Motion Twin. I was having people telling me during streams, like, oh, hey, whatever, man. 20,000 isn't that much gold. And there's me looking at them like, what version of the game are you playing? The old version, I assume. Yeah, it's super easy to get 20,000 gold. I mean, I bought like one thing from a shop, didn't I? Did I buy anything from a shop just yet? Really not entirely sure. Oh, well, at least when I get, like, to the final 5-cell area of the game, it might be a little bit different. Because it's still only going to be 20,000 at that point, and that makes a pretty big difference, rather than 250,000. Which is what it would otherwise be. What is that? That's key. Which means that I am definitely going to be forced to go in there. Come on. Man, that thing is way too fast. Anyway, man, I don't know what I'm going to do for healing right now, because clearly I'm going to have to use another potion charge, but I don't know. Yeah, I guess I'm just going to have to use another potion charge. Like I said, there's not really too much that I can do to... well, it's also, like, really hard to kill enemies right now, too, it feels like. I need some sort of piercing on my bow, I think is the thing that would really help a lot right now. Because otherwise, it's like, yeah, it's not looking too good. The Weirded Warriors are very good counters to my general build. So that is, that's more than anything else what's causing me difficulty. Anything? Multiple Nox bows, don't really care. A parry shield would be nice. I couldn't really afford that and still manage to get the potion, though. And I think with, being 2 potion charges down, I do really need that more than anything else. So I suppose we'll see. Anything else? Should just be focusing on more parries, but even then... I suppose with the extra... knockdown, that's actually working out okay. Yeah, that'll be the plan, I think. A lot more stun, and that means a lot more damage. As it is, though, is this like very... I mean, it's not a super early game version of this weapon, so I don't know. I think that critical really has just kind of lessened the quick bow's usefulness right now. Oh, what? Where even? Who even? Well, 10,000 gold, but get cursed? I don't think I can. I think that instead I'm going to have to go... I don't know, do something else. Man, come on. Did I... No, I didn't actually kill that pirate captain. Okay, I do think that I will have to switch out this particular item because clearly it is not doing too much for me right now. What am I going to switch it out for? I don't know about that. Quick bow, I mean, it was a good item, but it never really struck me as one being so good that it was deserving of really lessening its critical like that. So... I don't know. I don't really know what to think about that. The piercing, though, is something that would really help on this run. More than anything else. Man, where's the other shop? No, it's over there with another scroll. All right, that's kind of what I really need to get right now, and then kind of move on from there, I suppose. That said, of the 2 remaining areas, I don't really have any sort of form of healing that's otherwise going to be coming up. So I think that it is going to be kind of living on the razor's edge for a little bit. Hopefully what I can do is I can switch out like my, just go Alienation Acceptance combo. As much as I was saying that I wanted to do a little bit different stuff for the... Oh, in fact, what I can do is I can go and take the cursed skull right before I'm leaving this area. You know, do the real Galaxy Brain play of then getting alienation and then making that work for me. Is this anywhere approaching a good idea? I don't know. I think you can make the case. As long as I don't die, it'll be totally fine. Galaxy brain, man. Come on. Sometimes you gotta make the tough decisions, but the tough decisions can be the one to pay off the most in the end. Yeah, hesitation is defeat and whatever. Which I believe was verbatim the quote from Sekiro. Hey man, it's me, Ashina. Here to tell you all about how hesitation is defeat. So come on by and I'll kill you quite a few times. Really hammer that lesson home into your head. All right. Almost there, almost there. That should be the last, like, big hurdle that I need to overcome for this area. And then, yeah, I don't know. I still like quick bow and everything. It's just, maybe, you know, it's hard to say. Because I feel like I am not really, maybe it's just, like, I feel like I'm screwing something up here, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Now, is that a cursed chest down there, or is that just an enemy in front of the door? Because they look the exact same is the annoying bit, but one thing is a lot more important than the other. No, it's just an elite standing in front of the door. You know, I think I can do without fighting that elite. I'm a little bit worried right now, especially because I am about to take a real hefty curse, but, I also had that, an elite knife thrower earlier do me pretty dirty too, so that's another reason why I don't really feel too confident in my ability to take them on right now. Those things are fast, and couldn't even drop down fast enough to get the drop on them. Let's just say it. Just say it. You're gonna say it. You didn't even want to make the pun, but but it's like, oh no, it's right there though. Clearly, I have to take it. Let's just go. I think that this is gonna be the best option for me, and I am going to remember to actually re-roll the bow this time. Get what I need here. Whether it's piercing, whether it's a lot of extra damage, anything will work out just fine right now. Ice shards. Ice shards or the barnacle. I could take either. I think I want to keep the shield for right now, though. I'll keep the wolf trap. I'll switch, or do I want to get rid of the wolf trap? Yeah, let's get rid of the wolf trap. I do like wolf trap. I don't really think it's going to be as good as just a constant source of extra damage in that particular way. Yeah. Yeah, that's the ticket. Okay, I'll take Dead Inside, just take Alienation, whatever, and then Disengagement. This is going to be, maybe I should have gone for like double ammo instead of Disengagement, but this should be fine. It should be fine. And if it's not, well, look how much longer is left in the video. And you'll know exactly what's about to happen. Spoilers, I know, right? All right, can't forget about these guys. These schmoes. Well, that's why I got the turrets. Turrets will make short work of them, even if the bow is going to have a little bit harder time. Yeah? No? Maybe a little bit? No, not even a little bit. And nothing, eh? All right, well. I know that's the price of fame. Is that guy just not going to teleport to me? I guess maybe I'll just go find some other guys to attack. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, I mean, hey, a lot of that stuff is pretty good, especially with how the whole stunning abilities have been changed up now, but I'm still, like, yeah, okay. Still worried. should go without saying that I am a little bit hesitant to get too crazy with the sort of stuff that I'm doing right now with the situation that I currently find myself in. That said, it should be back up to full health very quickly. And then hopefully get rid of the curse shortly after that. In the meantime, you know, just gotta take it slow and gotta take it easy. Gotta be easy like Sunday morning. You know, there's nothing else. There's not enough enemies down there that I really want to deal with another weirded warrior, so let's just not even worry about it. 10,000 extra gold is going to go a long way, I can only hope. Oh. Well, this is not super friendly. Unfortunately, I'm going to also have to... There's no teleporter up here. I'm also going to have to make my way back downtown. Walking fast, cars that pass, and I'm homebound. And also, there's a corpulent zombie here. Which means that it's time to cheese this out, basically. By teleporting back and forth until my stuff is off cooldown. I'm going to do that. And this is how we're going to make it happen. Haha, please. Okay. Okay. Just like this. Just like this. Gonna be super okay. This is usually not a tactic I really like employing, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do now, don't you? Maybe the most Wisconsinian I just sounded right there. Okay. Same deal. Second verse, same as the first. And we should be good. Well, should be good for that fight. But here comes another challenger. Okay, it's just dealing with those turrets over there. That's fine by me. I don't like any of this. Well, the Assassin's Scroll is going to be nice and everything, but... That'll do it. Yeah. All right. Man. 20 Curse is slow going. But hey, slow and steady wins the race, as the tooltip on this game says. It sure do. I mean, sometimes. Sometimes you just want to take it quick. Sometimes you want to take it fast and loose, baby. Don't worry about tomorrow. Live fast, die young, etc. And that's how I usually like playing the game, but I also already do have one lost run, so let's at least make this one good. Or at least make it long. Feel like you're getting more value out of the episode. That's the real psychology, right? Okay, just get on with this here. There's the other cursed chest, which is super great. You know, just like, hey, get one curse lifted just to get cursed again. Fool me once, curse on you. Fool me twice, I get another curse. All right, well, maybe I'll be able to at least take these things out fast enough. I don't like that there's about to be a bat attacking me. I'm also not a big fan of the grappling hook. Don't get me wrong, grappling hook is good, but this is a weapon that works best when you're rapid firing. You know, a lot of shots here, not just a single one like that, as you know. We good? We good. Now the question becomes, do I even want to... Oh man, there's an elite up there too. I'll try my hand at the area outside of the cursed chest, but if there's a lot of spiked balls, I will instead go elsewhere. Yeah. That's where the range comes in. Okay. Oh man. Good, he didn't even throw it, because otherwise I was going to have a hard time dodging around that is the problem. All right. God, I hate this area right now, but you know, you do what you got to do to get a win out. That's just the truth of Dead Cells, really. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to let him catch that. Should be one more kill there. And then I'm going to go make sure. The darkness is not that big of a deal. Darkness does not kill you, but it's not going to... I don't want to take a lot of extra darkness damage for no reason. Okay, just get out of that horizontal area to make sure that I'm not getting hit. Oh, the tenseness. The tensity that I am experiencing right now cannot be overstated. It's working out, though. It's working out, though. All right, well, I think I might just want to get in the door there and see if I can't find 5 more easy enemies to kill. If it's just chock-a-block full of bats, it's not even going to be that big of a deal at all to take care of it. It is not. But hey, at least I finally get my shield after so long. If I manage to survive this, and this is at least an easy group of enemies to be taken out. Like, I would rather take on the Dark Trackers compared to a million other enemy types that I could possibly be encountering right now. Okay, final curse chest in the game has been accomplished. All right, that'll also be good for, like, taking on the Giant, too. Parry Shield's usually very good against that dude. And I do want to see if they have changed up how the Giant is working now. Oh, you're just saying that because you want to avoid going into the castle again? What? No. What? No. No, of course not. The guy was really easy last time. I want to see if he's been changed up to be, you know, more of an appropriate challenge again to see for future runs when I might want to go in there, if it's going to be quite the same thing or a little bit different. Avoiding the castle. What are you even on about? And that would be another shield that I would need, but, you know, it's fine. Didn't get the 60 kills, but to be honest, with everything that's been happening right now, I'm not even concerned with maximizing, like, the potential of the run. I'll just take what I got right now and be happy with it. The stats are starting to line up. I'm starting to feel a lot more powerful. I think I was right when I had my assessment earlier of just like, well, it's not that this weapon is like particularly bad. It's just that, you know, the difficulty in general has been switched up quite a bit now. I actually would kind of like to take Frost Blast, but I think that the shield is just going to be better. Any sort of shield is more what I'm looking for in terms of... it's not bad, but not really what I'm looking for. Yeah, shield, though, is what I'm looking for. Shield is what I want. Shield's got what I need. As it is, though, there is apparently also a stat down here that I was missing, held by an enemy. So I'll go grab that real quick. Sure. Certainly this is a little bit different of a build compared to what I would normally have. When I'm talking turrets, usually the best ones are... the first ones that come to mind are not the Sinew Slicer and the Barnacle. Barnacle is not a bad turret, but it's also not a super amazing turret either, which I think is kind of the real takeaway. I don't know. I guess what I'm just going to have to see is how the rest of this area goes, and especially how the end game goes. And the king, as you know, very good at taking out projectiles with his massive hand, with his telltale hand. So, yeah. I'll go down here and I'll see if there's another area that I can explore that might be able to get me the Explorer's Rune. What do you got? Yeah, there is stuff here, including probably an upgrade to the bow, so... Did I forget to re-roll the bow again in the last area? God, I swear, I can't do anything without forgetting to re-roll that bow. Re-bow that roll. Oh, well, in the meantime... Nope. In the meantime... I rolled right into that! I should have gotten hit there, I'm gonna be honest. But I didn't, and it's fine. No, nothing very interesting there. Anything very interesting over here? I'll fight that elite, I suppose. I don't know if I'm gonna like it, but I'll do it. Yeah, okay. Was able to rally up most of the health, and... good. 2 extra jumps, etc., and so on. Nothing of any real interest comparatively, so junk it. Some more reroll fodder, and here, poison target. Well, it could have been a little bit better on the previous. Does it have Pierce? It does have Pierce, and that's kind of maybe the more important thing right now. I don't know if I would have taken the Alchemic Carbine. I really do want the shield, so I'm gonna leave it at that. And I'm gonna go. Apparently, the assassin, at least judging by the clock timekeeper. The timekeeper is a lot easier than she's been in the past. She doesn't really have a whole lot of damage output right now, which is something that's going to be likely changed in the future, but for right now, it's only working to my advantage. All right, now you kind of take the same sort of thing, except also ammo instead, because I shouldn't be encountering any more chests, but who knows? In the meantime, 2 turrets, even though the Barnacle is not really going to find purchase for actually landing on a ceiling right now, should do well against this guy. Same thing with that. We're looking good. We're actually looking quite good. Because the piercing, like I said, important. If I took networking, that would be an incredibly good combination. So, okay, yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good. Yep, still got to retune that guy. Well, hey, if you ever want to have an easy, you can't get achievements in the alpha, but it's like, hey, if you're looking for it, this would be the time to get one. Well, this would be the time to at least have a good build against the guy. And I am going to switch that out for a more traditional type of good weapon. Sure, I do like a Sinew Slicer, and sure, it might have enabled some synergies, but I don't know. It's harder to get bleed synergies, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. In the meantime, Throne Room. Let's go. I'm feeling a lot more confident in the run now. Like I said, I do think that the end game type of abilities... Shots pierce all enemies. Well, I'll give it a try. But yeah, I do think that like end game should be okay, as long as I don't take the 2 times damage pyrotechnics. Hey, it was a good idea at the time. It just, after a couple bad hits, it turned out to be not as good of an idea as I was hoping. Yeah. All right. Freezing should still be very effective, and that'll really help with the whole shot blocking mechanic that the king that the hand has. The King of Hands has. That was very quick. I do think there might still be an issue wherein the Hand of the King just does not really take any sort of freeze at all. He takes very well to freeze, is what I'm saying. Because he breaks out of it immediately. Like, he's not even getting slowed down. What? Motion Twin! You gotta do something about this here. It's a problem. Yeah, It's like, how you expect me to use this here when it's like that? Ah, well, I'll take the potion charge then. Well, even with Dead inside, it's better. It's better. Oh, I was kind of hoping that he was going to have the thing fall on him. Okay. And just a little bit more should do it. Yep, shouldn't be too big of a deal at all. That said, yeah, the freezing, not as much of an MVP as I was kind of hoping it was going to be. Hey. I really thought he was going to go for the big slam. And so he did, right at the last second. Ah, terrible. Oh, well, it still is good enough. It still is good enough. All right, well, let's see how it works out in the last area. And the ice bow might not have worked against this boss, but I'm sure it'll probably be at least good against the enemies that I'm going to be coming up against here. Maybe. We'll see, I suppose. In the meantime, I kind of feel like, you know what, I will actually. Because well, I am losing a little bit of money now doing that over and over, but I'm hoping that it'll at least be worthwhile. I want to try out the, like, networking especially. With the Pierce, with Tactical Retreat, everything like that. Disengagement still. Even though clearly disengagement is not working, is not as important as it would be in other runs. I don't know. I think that, like, these ones right here will be... these other mutations will be very helpful without being ones that I've taken a million times before. Because, like, what you can do is you can just, like, freeze an enemy and then network, like, elsewhere. Like that. Which will probably be very helpful against, like, the librarians. Although, from what I understand, those guys have been nerfed quite a bit, so they're not nearly as bad to deal with. That said, needless to say, it is also going much nicer with, it's nice to have the ice bow back, I suppose is what I'm saying. And there we go. Getting rid of Dead Inside, helping out. Yeah, I have had people saying that it's like they have pretty much always seen, across the board, a food shop in the Astrolabe now. That might just be a thing that they have now added into the game, which I would not be opposed to. Let me tell you. It's having it kind of randomly appear would sometimes, you know, save or doom a run if it didn't, for example. So having that be like a more permanent addition, I am 100% for. Good. Alien key in hand. Let's go see what else I can do. Knowing that I haven't taken Dead Inside and everything, I now have one big heal coming up here too. So even if I do get, like, hit pretty hard, I mean, I got 3 potion charges. I got 3 potion charges, 3 one big heal, and then 1 big malaise. Well, that's probably not going to be all that relevant, but hey, it's still there. Getting that malaise heal. Oh my god, I can't believe I actually managed to thread that needle somehow. Especially with the slowdown and everything. That was very weird. Anyway. Like I said, it wouldn't do as... Whatever, just give it to me. I just need... I can use the health, certainly. It doesn't do as much damage. It's not as much of a run ender as it was before. Motion Twin explicitly said that they didn't want librarians to be run enders, but that's what they turned into. But, oh, you know. If I can get some form of poison here. I do have some form of bleeding, so maybe? Maybe. We'll see. Oh, come on now. Yeah, okay. Get wrecked. Not the traditional way that you use, like, you know, that stat was more important for me to not to cancel out the animation for the librarian and kind of mess around with that than actually do anything related to me getting extra health or whatever. That was a lot of sentences that made sense, right? I don't know. Look, just think about it. It's a real thing. All right, all right. Come on, still need that last key. I should probably go. This is definitely the point in time that I should take the. Well, now it's definitely the time that I should take the food. This is what I was keeping it for, after all. A circumstance like this. Very nice. And you know what? I do actually need this now. All right. Well, it's fine. It's working out just fine. I planned for that. Didn't plan for it being that bad, but that's all. Teleporting into a shield. Frustrating. Oh, come on now. Within some easy dodges. Well, kind of easy dodges. They're not that easy. I just want to make it seem like I'm good at the video game. That's nice, though. As always, I mean, the entire point of getting rid of Dead Inside for right now is to have some extra food erase some of the sins that I performed. Chief among them, not dodging correctly. The greatest sin of Dead Cells. All right, let's go. I think I got a good shot here. It's not going to be easy. I mean, certainly I don't think, like, hey, tactics is going to be the number one sort of stat to be taking. I do feel a lot more confident in my ability to, like, actually do 5-cell runs with it. Because prior to this, certainly it was rough. Whereas here, it's certainly still rough, but the mistakes, I don't really feel like it's one mistake and you're done, one strike and you're out. Which was kind of the issue that I was having previously. There, and and he got me. Oh well, if I can avoid having to use a potion charge until like right at the end, I'll be feeling a lot more confident. Here's where networking is going to come in. Obviously, we'll probably end up switching that out a little bit later on. Sure. That at least has some extra main hand stats for me, so I'll take it. Take him down. No. Before it accidentally falls off the edge, essentially, because you're not getting that back if it does that. It falls down and lands on a zombie's neck, and then it becomes the new Hand of the King. That's how it works. Canonical. Well, that's why you take disengagement. It's also why I have all the potion charges that I can possibly get, possibly muster. Okay. Thank you, Tornado. This is why I kept you around. Okay. Good. Getting him in the jump meant that he couldn't dodge around it. And then, yeah, I think it's not like amazing. I can certainly be doing significantly better. Oh, come on, with the shield and everything too. Okay, well. It's got one left. Come on. I do think that quick bow, perhaps, starting to get on my bad side once again. All right, let's go. This shouldn't be too difficult, especially with the networking and ice bow right now. Very nice and very nice. Of course, you know, you can always cheese it out by going up here, by having them run into electricity, etc., and so on, but I'm not too worried about that. What do we got? Well, I mean, we got me resetting this one more time for you, and, oh, let's say you. 1 second with each critical hit. I should be getting critical hits pretty much constantly, so Should be a lot of time that I can keep my tornado up, which is good. I need that. Hey, normal mode tactics. And normal mode tactics explicitly not taking some of the better items that I could possibly have done. Would have liked that owl. Okay. Wow, this is where having a shield would have been nice. Come on. Keep going. Do think that they might want to redo how much health the final boss here has. Still seems a little bit much. All right, is that only the first one? It might be. Well, strap yourself in, kiddos. We're going to be here a while. Should have taken a shield. Hey. You know, that's fine, because otherwise I would have been there for a very long time and probably not making too much progress.